Israel is not a political entity. You need to understand this. Israel is an evolution. Israel is earth. Israel doesn't know political borders. Just look at the roots of Israel worldwide. Wherever you go, there is Israel. Israel is God. You fight with Israel, you are fighting with the most powerful authority of the universe. Do I need to say it clearer? Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Standing ovation before even I start. No pressure. In the shadow of the recent events here in Montreal, what we saw on the social media, on the news, is disturbing. The assault on the Jewish community, the intimidation, and the spread of false narrative and hateful indoctrination targeting very peaceful community with great contribution to Canada, to Israel, to the West, and to the rest of humanity is something that is alarming, and we cannot be silent about it. We have to speak, and we have to be very clear in our position. Many people choose to be silent. This is not the time to be silent, especially when we are witnessing the rise of, I don't want to say Nazism, because I don't want to insult the Holocaust survivors. We never thought that they would be in this position where anti-Semitism became acceptable, where a hateful ideology became trendy, where violence on the streets became legitimized, where nice and decent citizens are afraid and being actually oppressed and persecuted for no crime. Today we were canceled from the university because of intimidation. Slowly, slowly, we are submitting to their violence. Back in the day, about 37 years ago, exactly in December 8th, 1987, when the first Palestinian Intifada started. They start chanting, from the river to the sea, resistance, Intifada. It sounded romantic, and many people joined the cause, not realizing what would happen 37 years later. Women, men, families, children, everybody in that doomed society called the Palestinian society, they agreed on violence. They legitimized violence. And there was no wise man to say that violence is a dead end. And the irony that people like my father, for example, they lived an amazing life prior to the first Intifada. They were able to travel everywhere. Economy was amazing. We did not have checkpoints. We did not have violence. Life was perfect. And look at them and what they did. 37 years in the making. They turned Gaza into rubble. That's their creation. And I wish they would admit that they did something wrong. I wish they take responsibility for their failing strategy, adapting violence, sacrificing children for political and financial gain. Pure evil. A culture that I disagreed with. And my reward was death sentence. Imagine when my father, under the social pressure to please the society, to go along with the agreeable, he told them, "This is not my son. You can kill him. I will not come after you. His blood is halal." Sacrificed his own son for non-existential Palestine, Islam, Allah, all of that, conceptions, idols. And what was my crime? Only because I said no to suicide bombing attacks, targeting people indiscriminately. Not only Jews were killed during the suicide bombing attacks. Arabs, Christians, Druze, elders, children. They targeted everybody, dozens of suicide bombing attacks. The ugliest thing anybody can do. And the more ugly, to justify it by the name of resistance or by the name of occupation. All the lame excuses. And when you disagree with them, you become a traitor. They think they have the higher moral ground. They don't. You're violent. You're a terrorist. You have been justifying violence against women, children. You have been justifying the use of human shields. You don't have compassion towards the non-Muslims. And you expect that I'm going to respect you in return or submit to your violence. And if I speak out loud, I get criticized by the hypocrite mediocres all the time in imposture. They want to teach me something about life and about human cruelty. They don't understand the Middle East. They don't understand the law of the desert. They don't understand tribalism. And when someone stands in the face of this destructive current, knowing what is going to be the outcome, they go after him. I don't understand the people of the free world. What is this? The Canadian government, they couldn't just outlaw the pro-Palestine movement? Is it too hard to understand? We have been saying this for so long. I did not start on October 7th or October 8th. How many times I came here? How many times I advised the public and the governments? But they don't listen. They are all compromised. They are criminals. And they are not servants of the people. I was here just a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, and the first thing, when I arrived, I see the Palestinian flag. I remember, it was 9/11 anniversary, and they were waving a symbol of hate, proudly, and nobody did anything about it. 2 days later, they were in front of the hotel, protesting, and they have been catching momentum. And nobody's doing anything about it. Threatening our way of life, our freedom, and accusing us of things that they have been doing. Genocide, colonialism, occupation, ethnic cleansing. They have been doing this for 1,400 years. And people here in the West start buying the narrative. And I say false narrative lead to violence. They are connected. And the problem, this type of delusional people, They cannot see the origins of their suffering. They create it. They are the architects of their own misery. But then they come on blaming the innocent people who didn't have anything to do with it. Like, for example, the destruction of Gaza. Whose responsibility is that? And today, they want also to blame the Jewish people worldwide, and they went on a Jewish hunt. What is this? When are they going to do something about it? Why do we have the police? Why do we have the army? People don't feel safe. When I walk down the streets, they recognize me. And I made a promise that I will never hide. And I am an individual, I'm not an organization. I cannot afford having security detail over my head around the clock. I cannot do this. We cannot afford it. We're normal people. And I want to walk freely in my city. When I left Ramallah, I said, goodbye Ramallah, and goodbye violence, and goodbye this death culture. I thought I came to a safe place. And I lost all my security. I said, take everything. I don't want anything from you. I'll walk alone. I don't care. For freedom. And here we are. They think they have the right to intimidate us, to accuse us, to harass us, and possibly to stab us as well. Why? Because we are genocidal. We are killing the children in Gaza. And that's it. Now, this is the new belief. This is the new belief now. Palestine is a very dangerous trigger. For those, I know the majority here understand, because they are related to Israel in a way or another. But for those who don't understand, who are not familiar with the region, who haven't been there, Palestine is a very dangerous concept. It depends on the destruction of Israel. And Israel is not a political entity. You need to understand this. Israel is an evolution. Israel is earth. Israel doesn't know political borders. Just look at the roots of Israel worldwide. Wherever you go, there is Israel. Israel is God. You fight with Israel, you are fighting with the most powerful authority of the universe. Do I need to say it clearer? And I try not to get to the business of God. But this is what it is. If you don't accept it, you are in the face of a certain destruction. What's happening in Gaza can be repeated everywhere else. This is madness. God said, take earth, go wherever you want, do whatever you want. You'll be responsible for your actions. But this small part of the land belongs to me. This small part belongs to me. And the earth is vast. And it's all the same. But here, this is mine. And they choose to come for this small piece of land. Everywhere else is not enough. They have hundreds of countries. And they have the same potential. And I don't understand why they are insisting to come after Israel, to spread their hatred. It's insanity. And we have now this new league of communists and Islamists and feminists and Hamas rapists, all of them chanting free, free Palestine. Stop chanting free, free Palestine. It's not a hostage in my backyard. Decent citizens say free, free the hostages. Decent people. But instead of choosing humanity, they choose a concept, a black hole that depends on destruction. While we have people, only God knows what they are going through. And also, free. They want free stuff. No, this type of people cannot be legitimized. It's a very dangerous movement. Sooner or later, and be aware of the wolf or the wolves among the sheep. Those are the ones that you need to worry about. The Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslims generally. I'm not here to speak against a group, but I wish that they qualify as a religion to begin with. They don't. It's not even a religion. It's a totalitarian system that does not have regard to any other belief system. It does not tolerate. It's violent towards all non-Muslims. And the Jewish hatred is rooted in their religion. You don't have to speak about it, but I have no other choice because I know their religion, I know their Quran, I know their belief system. And we must tell them that this is not acceptable. Free Palestine. It was only a colonial entity. It was never a sovereign country. And Palestinians are not people. Don't condemn what I just said. I mean it. They don't qualify. It's a fallen society. It's fallen from grace, from my grace. And I don't have compassion towards a woman who celebrates violence against others in the morning, then when she mourns her own children in the evening, I don't have compassion. It's the legitimate outcome of her creation. This is what people need to understand. In the universe, it's the laws of cause and effect. You cannot start intifada, then when the intifada comes to hit you right in your ugly face, you go on crying and blaming. No, you are responsible for that. How many years I've been saying to what so-called Palestinians, the violence is a dead end. You think they listened? They tried to kill me instead. They wanted me dead, and they now tripled down. They cannot see it. They don't want to admit it. And they are growing. And of course, I have all the right to be frustrated and angry with them. Dehumanizing the Jewish people, demonizing the Jewish people, blaming the Jewish people for their failure. It's their failure that they don't have a Palestine. They had an opportunity, equal opportunity back in 1948 to establish their Arab state. There was no Palestine then. And they missed their opportunity because they got busy declaring war against the Jewish state. And for 77 years now, they invested their entire energy, their entire lives. For what? For the destruction of Israel. Not for the construction of Palestine. This is why Palestine never happened. Palestine is just an illusion, it's an imagination, an idea that failed to exist. Israel is real, is reality. It's manifesto. It took place in the concrete reality. The resilience and the effort of millions of hard-working people who work together to manifest one of the most powerful, most beautiful models on planet Earth. I say it proudly. So these people, they are not ethnicity or individuals or whatever, criminals or terrorists or gangs. They're all divided. They don't have leadership. They don't have moral compass. Nobody can satisfy their ambition. And they want to replace this successful model of Israel with the non-existential. And let's see what will happen after we destroy Israel. It's the first condition towards the establishment of their empire. A savage empire, I promise you. It is not going to be good. And if they, God forbids, succeed in killing their enemy or destroying their enemy the way they are planning, you know what will happen after? They will kill each other. This is their reality. So we should not fall into to the false narrative. The false narrative, we have to confront it and destroy its foundation. The foundation of this victimhood, false narrative, lies and deception is Palestine. It's a very dangerous concept. And for those who think that Palestine was a country, it has been occupied, and if we give them their country back, everything is going to be okay, they are disconnected from reality. These are my main remarks. I can go on and on. As you see, it pains me. Because this concept, Palestine, this is why I lost my family. This is why my family shunned me. And this is why Gaza is destroyed. And this is why the children in Gaza, the Arab children, not Palestinians, the Arab children have been paying the price. Palestinians are the invaders. They are the real threat. The biggest mistake the international community, when they pressured Israel in Oslo to bring tens of thousands of terrorists carrying their AK-47s back to Ramallah, to Bethlehem, to the most sacred areas in Judea and Samaria. They empowered them. They allowed them in. They invaded us. They tortured us. They killed our people. They are corrupted. They did not help us. And whenever they needed money, they sent children to be sacrificed. This has been their strategy. And the world, on one hand, want to support their indoctrination, the Palestinian indoctrination. On the other hand, they want to complain when children die. And I say, the more you support Palestine, the more children will die. It's as simple as that. Arab and Jewish children. So please know the difference, for those who don't know the difference. I am an Arab. Arabian is an ethnicity. Arabs and Jews can get along. Israel has 2 million of them, just our cousins, like literally 10 kilometers away, and they enjoyed all the benefits of a democratic system. We didn't in the West Bank because the Palestinian revolution enslaved us to their indoctrination. And I'm longing for the day that the Arab children of the West Bank and Gaza will have their freedom back, their freedom from Palestinians, the real invaders who want to enslave and destroy and loot and rape. This is what they stand for. So I haven't lost hope, and I'm sure at some point there will be peace. But now it's a wartime, and we must stand firm, and we must fight, and we must give Israel all the support they need. We must, if we cannot support our soldiers financially, who have been fighting a brutal fight in Gaza, in Lebanon, on many other fronts, our agents on the ground beyond the enemy lines, think of those. Pray for them. Their mission is very dangerous. And the last thing we want, that any of them to get caught. We have lots of things to do. The challenge is huge. But I am certain that we are going to win, God's willing. Thank you.